everyone, I am back with another foundation review. It has been actually quite a while since I've done one, so I'm a little overdue for a review. So today I'm going to be showing you the By Terry Light Expert Click Brush. Full disclosure, I was sent this product free of charge from By Terry and Octoly in exchange for a review, an honest review. I've told you guys in the past, I would never jeopardize my credibility with my viewer for any amount of money or any amount of free product. You will always get my honest, sincere, genuine opinions. I am under no obligation to give any company a positive review unless it is deserved. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk more about the product. This is a illuminating flawless foundation brush that contains the product in the tube here, and it comes out of this brush up here. So it's a very interesting concept, not one that I personally have ever used before. By Terry is a high-end brand. It's a luxury brand. You can get it at very, very high-end department stores like Barney's New York. I think I've seen it at some Bloomingdale stores as well. I could be wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you at the end where you can purchase this. Now, I am not usually one to try illuminating foundations because I am more on the oily side. Well, I am very, very oily. If you've watched my videos before, you know that I talk about it all the time about how oily I am. I also have mature skin. So keep that in mind when listening to this review because it is coming from my perspective, being an oily skinned woman. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but it's not outrageous. It's $65 for 0.65 ounces. So if you are interested in hearing about my experience with this product, then please keep on watching. I will be starting with a application demo. And then at the end, like I usually do, I will tell you about the wear time and my final thoughts and who I think this foundation is best suited for. So stay tuned. So this contains 0.65 fluid ounces, which is a little bit less product than your typical liquid foundation, which is usually around 1 ounce. So you are getting a little bit less product in this. It comes in a box, and this is the packaging. It is approximately, I would say, maybe 5 inches long, and the top comes off like so, and there you have the angled brush. Now, this is where the click is down at the bottom, and all you do is you push up, like you can see a little bit of the product coming out, and I highly recommend just starting with that product. Don't push it up again, otherwise too much product comes out and there's too much on your face and it's pretty concentrated, so it's just hard to work with if you have too much on this brush. Now I start applying it in the center of my face and outwards. Now, the downside that I saw immediately when I used this was what I find with a lot of foundation brushes in general, which is why I don't typically use them. If I use a foundation brush, I use like a buffing brush, like a kabuki, because it does leave some streaks on your face. So it does take some effort to work this into your face. What I do love is that the brush is pretty soft, so it doesn't hurt to blend it in. As you can see, this color is not quite right for me. This is the shade Peach Beige, and you can definitely see the peachy tones in this. So that's why I'm blending it down my neck. I mean, normally I probably wouldn't wear this foundation color at all. I'd want something exact, but this is the one I have, so. So as you can see, it did take a little bit of time to really work this in, and it gives a medium, I would say a light to medium coverage. This type of coverage is not enough for me, and what I also am not a huge fan of is that it really doesn't cover my pores. I found that in order for it to cover large pores, you do need to use a pore refining primer like Smashbox or Hourglass or Benefit Professional. But just right from this one application, I personally would prefer more coverage of my pores and definitely more coverage over here. Now, it does say it is buildable and a natural finish. So if that's what you're looking for, then absolutely, the natural finish for sure. And buildable, let's see, we're gonna do another pump, another click. And yes, it is definitely buildable. But again, it just takes a lot of time to blend out those streaks from the brush. So I do like the shape of the brush. I love that it really gets into the contours of your face. I don't know if you can tell, but it's still kind of streaky. So for me, I have to take my fingers and kind of blend it all in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my other side real quickly. One click, and then I'll go over it again with another click. So now I am taking my finger and blending out like I did the other side, just because I do find the brush that leaves some streaks. I mean, obviously you could try to apply this with a beauty blender and see if you get a better application, but the whole point of this is to have the click brush. So now I have the product all over my face, and as you can see, it is a natural finish. It is not a matte or flat finish. It is definitely a buildable coverage, but you're not gonna get full coverage with this. It's going to be your sheer to medium. Now, if you're someone with dry skin, I could absolutely see you loving this finish, or someone with smaller pores. Again, for my personal taste, I like this area to have more coverage. I like my pores to look more refined. I will say this, that the fine lines that I have on my face, which you can't see as much on camera, but in person, I definitely have some fine lines, and this appears to have really smoothed those out. So before I come back and give you other thoughts on this foundation about like how it wore throughout the day and all that, I am gonna go and powder this, because for me, it does have a little bit too much of a, I wouldn't say sticky feel, but a wet feel. And for someone that's oily like myself, we often prefer to not have like a wet feel on our face, because the oils already make us feel kind of wet. So I'm definitely gonna go powder this and come back and give you more information about how this product works. Okay, I am back. As you can see, I have powdered and finished off the rest of my face. Now I'd like to share with you my thoughts on how this product wore for me in the several days that I did wear it. I used it about 3 days in a row, and the results were pretty consistent each day. So the first thing I wanna mention is that this foundation does oxidize a little bit. I noticed that after about an hour of application, the peachy tones that were in this, I mean, yes, I did get a shade called Peach Beige, but they were definitely more prominent. It does darken about a half a shade. So I highly recommend doing a lot of research if you're purchasing online about what your color should be. And obviously with any foundation, it is best if you can get color matched at a store, but that's not the case a lot of times with these harder to find brands. So do as much digging around online as you can to find swatches or read reviews and get an idea of what your color might be before ordering. So one of the things I really did love about this foundation is that it does wear really, really well. While I might not be a huge fan of the overall finish of it, because I am oily and I have large pores and I have marks from breakouts, I have pigmentation issues, you know, it didn't give me the overall coverage that I personally like. But if you are someone who prefers a sheer to medium coverage and needs a long wear, this doesn't even claim to be a long wear foundation. It says sculpting and smoothing, buildable coverage, natural finish, but nowhere on it does it pitch itself as a long wear, but it really does wear a long time. I had it on for 10 to 12 hours and it definitely did not budge. Even though in the application you saw that it kind of felt a little oily on me, once I set it with that powder, it did stay. Now on the flip side, and I sort of alluded to this point a few seconds ago, that the finish isn't quite my taste. Is it natural? Yes. Is it for someone with oily to very oily skin? Probably not. I did not feel like my skin, while the foundation was still there, I could tell, I wasn't in love with the way my skin looked. I, again, at least I feel like I need more coverage and more pore refining. And I don't know, it wasn't that it made me real greasy. It just, again, overall, the look on me, I didn't feel was that flattering. I definitely believe this foundation is great for a mature skin, because as I mentioned in the demo, I felt like it really helped to diminish the look of fine lines. Sculpting, I'm not so sure about. My only other gripe was that I felt like it kind of left some streaks on my face. So you have to blend it out either with your fingers or a beauty blender. So again, if you are mature skin, this would be a great option, especially if you are combination to dry and you prefer a sheer to medium coverage foundation. So that is whom I would recommend this product for. So if you are an oily skin like me, this product is probably not one that I would highly recommend to you. And you've just heard pretty much all the reasons why I would say that. So a couple more things I want to mention before I conclude this review is that on the plus side, this foundation is very lightweight. So again, it's one that I would highly recommend for someone mature, combination to dry, that wants a sheer to medium coverage. That's who this is for. And it is very, very lightweight and comfortable and long wearing. Now, the other thing I wanted to say was that it does have a slight perfumey / chemical-y smell. And for me, that is definitely a downside because I do not like any type of scent in my foundation. I've reviewed so many on my channel, and I always mention if it does have a perfume or any type of strong scent because that can be an irritant to a lot of people. Myself, anything with a strong perfume, like sometimes Dior, while I love the Dior Air, it broke me out because those fragrances can be an irritant. So I can't even really say that this is a fragrance per se because it is sort of more of like a chemically smell. So I hope you all enjoyed this review of the By Terry Light Expert Click Brush Foundation. It does retail for $65 and you can purchase it at select Barney's New York stores, Bloomingdale stores, online at Cult Beauty or Space NK. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. Both of those are Risa Does Makeup, as well as my Facebook, which is also Risa Does Makeup. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.